Hey, Pete here, and welcome to the first in our how-to series. And I thought when we're going to start off, we should probably look at recruiting because we need to get some good staff if we're going to have a good business. And the first thing we need to look at, or shall I say the first thing, is getting a deselection process in place. That's right, a deselection process, because as you're aware, if you're recruiting, you're inundated with CVs. Well, we need to cut down on that. So we're going to do a deselection process. The first thing we need to do is look at our ideal client. What does our ideal client look like? So firstly, we need to decide, what do we want this person to do? What is it in the business that we're going to hire them for? And once we know that, we then need to actually get a job description. The old JD, all right, job description, outlining what is going to be the roles, the responsibilities, what you're wanting them to actually do. Once we've actually done that, then it's time to write the advert. Let's write that advert and put it into the places where we think it's important, where we're going to get the best use or the best opportunities to get the ideal client. So once we've written that, what we actually want them to do in the advert is to actually ring in also and let us know why they're the best person for the job. Now, why do we do that? Well, depending on the role, even if it's a sales role or an admin role, you might be wanting to see what they're like on the telephone. So by getting them to ring in, the first thing you do is you're going to deselect a whole lot of people because many people won't actually make that phone call. They'll think, oh, that's a bit scary. Great, you've just saved yourself a whole lot of money. You've saved yourself heaps because they weren't the right person. So you've now cut down on the people who will ring in. And really interestingly, just recently we had, when we ran an advert, we had one lady who actually sang us a song on the telephone. Did she get an interview? Of course she did, absolutely. That was really interesting. So you get the candidates that will phone in. And then you can decide, hey, who sounds pretty good? Once you've done that, right, what I want you to do is then bring those people, the successful ones, in for interview. And the idea here is that you actually want to see what they're like, but also, and this is one big difference, and remember, you haven't looked at the CVs at this stage. You've got a, say, a group of 10 people that you've now in a group interview. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to give them the vision and your mission and the values of your business. Now, the reason we do that is that we want to see if people are the right fit for our business, but also it gives those people an understanding of, are they going to be the right fit to be working here? And you need this process in two parts. So the first part is outlining the business, the vision, the values, the mission. Take a short break. You have a coffee break or a bathroom break, and then bring them back. And especially if it's a sales role, all right, you want them to actually stand up in front of their peers who they haven't met before and just stand there and say why they're the best person for the job. Now, this will put a few people off as well. And if they then decide, no, this isn't for me, and prior to the interview, you're going to set this up and say, this is what the expectation is. So it's not as though it's an unknown. They will then, if after the vision and values and mission, they go, oh, I don't want to do that, they leave, which is good. Again, deselection, you've saved yourself another bullet. So those people then turn up and they will advise why they're the best person for the job. Now, you may not want to do this, say, for an admin role, it may not be appropriate, but by this stage, you've actually got yourself down to, just a handful of candidates. Once you've done that, this is the time to actually get the CVs and then have a one-to-one with those successful candidates. And what actually happens there is you can marry up the CV with what you've heard, on the telephone and in the group interview, and see if it marries up with what they're putting on paper. And have that in-depth discussion. And once you've decided on the person or people that you require for your role, then give them an offer, make them an offer. And the offer is on the proviso that all their referees check out. Now, this is fundamentally important. Taking up the references. Referees. You must ring the referees. And my suggestion is that you need to ring at least probably half a dozen referees, especially if it's in a sales role. All right? They will give you some really interesting thoughts. And one of the questions that I normally ask at the end, is there anything else I should know about this candidate? Say it again. Is there anything else I should know about this candidate? It's amazing what comes out of the woodwork. So let's assuming that the reference checks have gone well and you've given the offer to the candidate, they've accepted it, the referee's checks have gone really well, make the offer, get the signatures off, and you're off to a flying start. So that's the first in our series, of our how-to series. I'll see you next time.